the nursing program was very challenging. Oh my God. It tests your capacity to handle stress. What? Kuna siku ulikuwa unaamka unashangaa, wallahi, what am I doing here? Should I really go home? Should I go home? Should I quit? Is this a place to stop? But I remember your scripture, it was really important. And I thank God we went to a Christian school. 3 verse 5. Yeah, thank God we went to a Christian school, because honestly, I remember chapel used to be such a freeing place for me. So we used to have like Monday nights chapel, whereby sometimes
sometimes we're busy, no homework, and you're just like, I can use this time for something else. And then the church time.
Anyway, that's another topic. But for me, sometimes it was like, it was like, honestly, like I need a place whereby it's just a place where all I can think about is something else as a nursing school. But you know what else, Sylvia? I think the way our professors overemphasized, they made that program more intense than it was. Like the way they would talk, the way they would do things, I'm like, babe, it's not this. Like a year in, I was like, you're not gonna kill me with stress, by the way. Like you're not gonna kill me with stress. It's not that bad. It's not that serious. Because I remember I enjoyed my second year more than I enjoyed my first year. Because the first year they were just, oh my God. Like me, I'm just children. I'm trying to learn. Now ni stress. Everything was just like so freaking intense. Every paper, everything.
But then also I feel like our nursing program was sometimes more intense than others, because for us, it was semester based, and you had to get a B. You had to get a B or higher, or 3.0 or higher. So if you didn't get a B, you gotta wait another year. You're like, what? I can't.
Umechunjwa, like you're out of the program.
To make matters worse, wacha nikwambie, ilikuwa inaanzia 96.
96.
It's not that it's easy. It's hard, and then they're expecting the A is top tier.
C, 70 was a C.
I know. 70 was almost a B minus.
But then let me tell you,
their grading scale was whack.
Ungepata, if you got any exam less than 80, you're called for a freaking intervention.
Like, what are you
doing? Why are you intervening?
You're not serious life.
I never got those interventions. Hey, so because I repair teachers like come ni more than 80, niko sawa. But I think they really intensified our program more than it needed to. But then I'm like, I'm okay with them doing that if I'll pass the NCLEX.
Yeah, it really builds you up.
Yeah. Because I feel like by the time I was taking the NCLEX, it's because to like nila anxiety NCLEX.
Yeah.
I was ready to take it.
Yeah.
I think they really set us up. Have you ever heard of anybody failing NCLEX from Northwest? How many?
None of us from a different school.
No, from Northwest.
No, I've never heard.
I've never.
Oh yes, sure.
One
I
person.
have.
Was this one person?
No, there's this girl who failed like 3 times, and she's never like taken it again. Now she's a pastor's wife.
When you're in the nursing program, what our school did is that they put us we had different rotations. We had community health nursing, so they would create an environment whereby we experience community health. We had pediatrics, which is nurses for children, so they would put us in like a place whereby we would cater for children, whether it's ICU, NICU, different aspects, PQ, and then we had mother baby. So we went to like deliveries. We had a whole semester of just experiencing that. So every specialization of nursing, they would create an environment whereby we experience that, which I liked. I found a school in Arizona whereby what they do is that they place you, so you have to, for your clinical rotations, you interview in a hospital, which is what they're doing at my hospital, which I found lame. You interview in a hospital, and then you're there for the span of 2 years of your clinicals. But then for me, it's like, how will I get exposure to other things at different settings? What if you guys don't have enough? Come our L&D, like labor and delivery unit in our hospital, it's not big enough. Like sometimes maybe like 3 kids are born. Maybe I want to be an L&D nurse. I don't feel like that's a good exposure. It's not a good experience-wise. So I don't like that strategy. So our school did really good. And also I'm like, if I'm going to be working in that state, I want to experience different hospitals so that I can know which hospital fits my personality. So I really like that about our school. Yeah. So let's
it's a really excellent nursing program.
They had, honestly, 10 out of 10 recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend the school as a whole, but like I would recommend their nursing program.
Their nursing program was really good. So fast forward, you're done with nursing school. Talk to us about the NCLEX. So what is the NCLEX?
The NCLEX, it's a licensing exam for nurses. So that's what like sells the state, hey, you are prepared and you are ready for the NCLEX.
And when you pass the NCLEX and you get the license, can you practice in any state?
No, you have to apply for different states. Different states have different license regulations, so you have to apply for a certain state. So it's like right now I live in wherever I live in. I live different from where she lives in. So when I go to her state, I have to apply for her license to be able to work in her state.
Okay. So it's not like a federal thing, which means like it's not like a worldwide, because kila state, it has its own rules
board,
and regulations. So
every state has its own board.
So my next question is, how did you prepare for the NCLEX? What apps did you use specifically?
So for me, for the NCLEX, I used UWorld.
Yeah.
Lifesaver. If I can be a sponsor for UWorld, I would. But also for UWorld, it's very if you don't know your content, then UWorld is pointless. But if you know your content, then UWorld is perfect because it teaches you how to take an exam. Because the NCLEX is just basically a standardized test. It really just shows if you really know how to take a test. If you don't know how to take a test, you might really struggle with it.
I feel like it's about skills than it is about what you.
Yeah.
But I know you need to know stuff.
You need to know content. Don't get me wrong. You need to know content, but it's also showing you if you know how to test. Yeah. If you know content and you know how to test, then you got it. You're probably gonna pass in your first time. But basically, I feel like it would be nice kind of to explain the NCLEX.
Yeah.
So the NCLEX, it's a test. There's this it is an imaginary line. The top line is like, yes, you're a good nurse. This one is like, no, you still need more work. So there's like a benchmark. So when you start taking the test, if you keep getting the questions right, you stay on top of that line, or that you're goodness.
Yeah.
Like let's say, for example, you've been goodness, but you've been riding really low on that goodness line. And so you start getting wrong and you keep going badness, then it like shuts off because it's just like, okay, you're not ready yet. You need to go learn more.
Yeah.
So basically, in order for you to pass, you have to stay on top of that line for a very for a long time, for the computer to be like, yeah, she is prepared and competent enough to be a nurse.
Safely.
Yeah, safely.
I think what somebody told us is that what NCLEX wants to know is, can you be able to take care of a patient without killing them?
Yeah.
Like if a person comes in there sick, are you going to respond in the right way? Yeah. That's what they basically test.
Yeah.
For me, I use two things. I use UWorld, and then there's this guy called Mark Klimex. Did you listen to it? Did you use that? So Mark Klimex is one of the people who were Kitambo. They were at the NCLEX board, and they were picking questions. So after he got out of that, because apparently I don't know why he got out, but after he got out, he came and started to actually do lectures for that go over everything in NCLEX. Like he goes over community health, everything, every portion of nursing for the boards, and he shows you like how to text, and it has these different acronyms that you can use. And he really helped me, because I remember I did UWorld for a little bit, and then for a long time. I did UWorld for like a good week, and then I sat down one day and I listened to like him and his lectures, and then I went back to UWorld like maybe 3 days before, and just reviewing his notes, and I was testing way better in NCLEX, in UWorld, and I understood the concepts even more better, because he breaks it down on a like level I'm total, so you know what you're doing. And I'm glad about that.
And then also to add on, so the thing I'm saying, our nursing program was very excellent, because every semester when you take a class, you had to take so we also had ATI, and we had to take like a test to see how we would be prepared. So if we were taking a community health class for that semester, you would take a community health like NCLEX ATI. Yeah. So it was kind of like you already they were really preparing you from like the jump, so that even by the end, when you're taking the real thing, like you're good.
Do you feel like ATI helped you?
Not really.
I don't feel like me, honestly.
It was stressful.
It was stressful.
It added to my stress. But it was also, I think it was helpful at the end.
I was going to tell you, like, do you remember like they had 2 weeks of like whereby the ATI people came and lectured? That was so helpful.
Honestly, I don't know if they have those videos on YouTube. ATI live review. Honestly,
the best thing,
God sent.
Those things were
that
beautiful.
made me feel so
because
confident.
nakumbuka the year before I had taken like the nutrition thing. Na nile nye ukoleka tu kuwa prepared. So they tell you you're taking a nutrition ATI. And me, I got like maybe 62%. I was like, what the freak is this? And then what pissed me off is that it would impact your overall grade.
Yeah, it would count into your grade.
It was like 5% of your grade. And 5% is a big deal. So anyway, guys, I feel like we've gone into depth about nursing.
But what's it called? New World, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's not that expensive. I think it was like, I took mine 2 years ago, so I'm not very...
My recommendation is take your boards as soon as possible.
Yeah, don't wait.
So that because the information is still fresh, and the more you stay, the longer you're prolonging your anxiety.
Yep.
Mimi the week
ya boards 3 times.
The week ya boards. Wallahi mimi nakwambia sijasikia stress ka hizo. Niko naenda kusoma zangia sikia tu kulia.
Like I can't do this.
And honestly, ukiingia kwa that exam room, you need to relax. Like you really I remember I had really prayed God. I was like, okay, God, like just help me. I don't want to be anxious. And I remember I had to nikuwa afika mahali I'm like because NCLEX is like if you get a question right, it gets harder. That's how NCLEX is usually set up. If you get it wrong, then they bring a similar question or maybe an easier one. That's how usually it is. So nikiona hizo questions zinakuwa ngumu, I'm like, and then I remember, and then like honestly, I had to be like, Esther, breathe. Ama nitakufia kwa exam room.
Nakwambia yangu, God. Mimi like
we had the glasses nyumbani. My mom had to bring them. Really? Chris had to bring them.
Maybe me as I was taking mine, like, because I had always heard that if you're getting multiple choices questions, select all that apply, there's like more than one answer, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Let me see what anything. I think I got like 2.
So I'm like, oh God.
I'm just failing. But then I was like, I had really prayed over like, this time I was studying.
Yeah, we had prayed.
Like, honestly,
I thank God for our friends. Like, we really prayed for each other though. We were ready.
Yes. And I feel like I really didn't get as anxious as I had in the past. Like this time I was like really prepared. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop on that 10. I'm like,
you're doing a Numa.
I didn't yes, I was stressed, but like I didn't make it like it was everything. Like if I don't pass, the world is over. Like, you know? But mine was also different from hers. So my version only 65 questions, so like it shut off at 65. Mostly it's usually 75, but it was during the time of the pandemic, so they had changed it. So like Mimi, I finished, and my parents had taken me 40 minutes. I finished, and I go outside, and my parents are like, "You're done?" I was like, "Yeah." How was it? I don't know. I just
like let me tell you, unatokanga hiyo exam room, you're like, I don't know.
I really don't know.
Because that's the first thing because my mom actually siku akwenda alikaa tu home. I think just to be my support system. Alikaa tu home because me I was testing 5 minutes away from home. So I came back. Aliza, Kiari Kimate. I was like, I don't know. I was like, Mom, that was the weirdest test I ever took in my life. I was like, I told her, Mom, that was the weirdest test I've ever seen in my whole life.
It was very.
Because I just didn't know. Like
I only had to recall one thing, just one thing, and it was in pediatrics. It was in babies, so it was like everything else. It was just like
unafanyanga unaiacha, and then they test weird. Yeah. It's like what?
It's like what? And then when I talk with them, somebody, one of your classmates, and I got so many select all that apply. Anything, you're just like, guy, I have.
And then let me tell you, when I went, so there's a trick that we use. So what they tell you is that go try to book your exam again. If it lets you book, then you failed. If it doesn't let you book, then you passed. Me kwenda kujibu kubook inanitikisha.
Really?
But haikuwa inanitikisha, sikuwa namalizia process. So mimi hata nikwambia nilipai kama mimi.
I think we called. I think you were on the phone with each other.
Imeanguka Sylvia. I was like, me nimeanguka. Mom was like, Esther, no. You need to be positive. I was like, hapana mami nimeanguka. She was like, no. And then nikaangalia nikaona, by the way, I didn't finish the whole process. Nikafikiria, let me just try again. Ikakataa ninunue. Nikakupigia immediately. Nikamwambia Sylvia, I think I passed.
Me, my parents are going to put morale. Let me tell you, my parents are giving me morale. So I remember, like, I just came back home and I was so depressed. I was like, I failed because they're gonna put it all sort of apply. So when I got home, I took a nap.
Hey, inabidingi. Me,
I was like, at this point, honestly, I just need something to like.
Sharp.
But anyways, so like, I just took a nap, and then that Sunday previously, my pastor had preached about don't give in to the devil. Because like once guy, so like, and I remember I had posted it on my like screensaver, like to keep me pushing, keep me going. So nikaamka
unapendanga Mungu nampenda tena.
Nikaamka nikaangalia my phone and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the stupid trick. So I did like a little trick with my mom. My mom was really right next to me. I said, honestly, I don't know what I would do without
first of all,
Jane.
let's apologize. First of all, Miss Margaret, I just want to apologize for the anxiety that I've put you through, because Mimi, she's a rider.
Honestly, I think me and my mom got the nursing degree together.
Ilikuwa yangu na wewe.
Nikitapika niambia kulula kitu gain weight. Chukuli. I was telling me like you need.
I think because so there was I give me a like I think I was depressed at some point. One day called my mom. I was like, "Not mom," because I didn't do good on that ATA. I called. I was like, "Mom, I'm not doing good, and I don't even know. Like I'm so sad," and I was just crying. And I told her I don't want to talk to anybody. And then I went and nikazima simu yangu nikalala. So I called my uncle later na kupata miss call 20. She's like, "Maga, yes, money kicking it from oh, that is." I think you thought I'd kill myself
after being so dramatic. Let me tell you, me and Jane's my mom for the
yeah.
But my
those
mom really helped me down. But so I was doing like a little trick.
Yeah.
And then my dad came. And then me as I'm trying to do the trick, and my dad are talking, trying to plan out my graduation party, who they're gonna invite, and I'm just like that was the thing. I was like, okay, okay, my pizza, and then I checked, it didn't go through. But me, honestly, if you don't know anything, I'm super stubborn, so I didn't believe it. I was like, I still failed. I did it again. I was like, I still failed.
You paid. You paid. You paid for early results.
Yes, and I paid for early results.
Me, I believe the trick.
Criminals.
Me, I believe that.
Maybe I tell you a Pearson view trick. I mean, before the early results, the DSHS called me. God was like, "You really don't believe me, huh?" DSHS
I remember you called me and I was like, "Sylvia, I can call umepita."
I'm just stubborn. DSHS called me and they were like, "Oh, we didn't get your transcripts to process your license."
Okay, like,
am I still believing them? No. No, nikafungua results. No, nikona for sure, pass. And that's when I was like, shoot, I guess some of the new are running in town.
I am ready for victory.
Like, I'm done, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Mimi la stress nilikuwa nayo. Singeitikia shetani aniambia tena sijapita. Lakini nikwambia kai kwa mwaka nilikonda. Unaona hivi niko mkonda. You guys call me skinny. Nilikuwa guys, nika pants kwa zinaanguka. Iko skinny hata nikiangalia tu. Haitoshi.
Let me tell you. Close to 100.
I think it was 90.
I was like, 90. 100 maybe it was like 13 or 14. It was bad. I was
going 90. Jinsi haikuwa zinanitosha.
Finished now by living luxuriously.
Hey, mkiwa tukikula hapa pesa yetu si.
That's literally what I was telling my mom. Because it's just like people will always like comment. It's like, "Oh, Sylvia, you're always out doing this." I'm like, "Oh, Sylvia, like, when I need this to trip after trip." My friend, I worked for it. This is blood, sweat, tears. Like, this is the sacrifice that I made 2 years ago. Well, not almost 6 years ago. This is a sacrifice that I made for me to be here. Like, if you see me like enjoying my life,
this life is enjoyment.
Friday night nilikuwa na study. Saturday night na study. Sunday nenda church na
we didn't have a life. We didn't even have a life.
Sasa unaona watu kwa Snapchat, kwa Instagram wanajibamba, and you're just feeling like, woe me. And you're just like, but I can't because I have an exam on Monday. So like when people like tell me or like come at me like, "Oh, like Sylvia unashtango kienda." Then ngwambia
utaenda. Hata utaenda.
I barely touched the surface.
Acha tupatie 4 more years.
I will be untouchable. Untouchable. But honestly, school's a really good thing. Like, go to school, get your money,
invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Because honestly, Esther's dad mentioned this last week, but he said, what's it called? School or like a degree is something no one will ever take away from you. So it's just like, do your thing. Yeah, so go to school. I don't come as you're nursing, and nursing is not for everybody.
It's not.
Hey, nursing is not.
This thing is not for everybody.
It's not.
But then, like, if you're not passionate about people, it takes a lot
because people will come at you crazy.
I think I was telling Sly the other day. I was telling her, Sly, let me tell you, if you're not intentional about choosing joy when you're serving people, when you're serving these people,
it's like people are just unhappy and they try to bring you down with you.
I'm trafikiria hospital in a 5-star hotel.
I am serving you. I'm gonna wipe you. Then you are you're a Latin oriented.
But
it's like, no. It's like, how do you do this at home? Exactly. Do that.
It.
So yeah, so it's definitely not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
But I definitely would recommend it. If you're like on the fence, about it, like just do it. There's so much you can do about it. Like, you don't have to be in a hospital. You could be a dialysis nurse, like in a clinic. You could be an aesthetic nurse, just do with like giving people Botox, and you're getting your money. So it's like it's a sacrifice for just a little bit, but like
it's worth it.
The payout is definitely
10 out of
very
10.
like, is really good.
But
come on, if you're like siko shua, I'm like,
don't do it.
But if you're like, you know what, it can grow on me, definitely do it. Just always remember that there's so much you can do about it. Like nursing, with the way like our parents, like I'd say like my parents like working doubles and all that, it didn't seem like very like nice. Like in Isaizi, like nursing is very different. Like unaweza kuwa travel nursing, make your
there's so
money.
much you can do with nursing.
There's so much you can do about it.
Do your research. My recommendation is do your research. So we're just gonna give them a life update. So